top. If you wanna rock and roll, you wanna rock and roll. Driving on the highway, going to a show. Stopping on the byway, playing rock and roll. Getting round, getting stoned, getting beat up, getting boned, getting high, getting shook. Watch all your folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's easy to do one night stands. Try playing a rock and roll band. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
Good evening, race fans. I'm your host, Caden Reif, and welcome to another installment of the 2006 season of the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series. We're here from the West Coast. It's Las Vegas for race number 9 of 36 here from the UAW-Daimler Chrysler 400 as we get started on a little bit of a West Coast swing in the season. 3 West Coast races in a row coming up, but the first of which at Vegas here tonight as we take you to the racetrack for your starting lineup in tonight's race. Starting on the front row for today is going to be the 20 of Kevin Harvick, joined by Brian Vickers in the front 44. Goodness, can't even say my words tonight, but those two are going to be on the front row for today's race. Looking down the rest of the order, as Jimmy Johnson in the 48 will be starting from the 3rd position, and Ron Hornaday Jr. in 4th. Scott Wimmer will be the last of the top 5, side by side with McMurray, who starts in the 6th position. Mike Bliss will be 7th, and Scott Riggs in P number 8. Casey Kane will be in 9th in the 38 car, and Jack Sprague will start from P10, Christian Elder in 11th place, and Jeff Gordon in 12th. Greg Biffle will be in the 13th spot, and Ryan Newman from P14, Kyle Busch in the 15th position, and Robbie Gordon in 16th. Jeff Foltz in the 50 will be in the 17th spot, and 18th belongs to Kurt Busch. 19th will be Tony Stewart, and Carl Edwards in 20th. 21st will be Jeff Green in the 96, and Regan Smith, last week's winner. He'll be 22nd. John Wood in the 23rd spot, and Sterling Marlin 24th. Jeff Burton will start this race from P25, and Eric Norris will be in 26th, Chase Montgomery in 27th, and Ricky Hendrick in 28th. Hank Parker Jr. in the 4, he'll be the 29th position car, and John Andretti the last of the top 30, Todd Bodine in 31st, and Jeremy Mayfield 32nd. Ricky Rudd will be 33rd, and Matt Kenseth starts from 34th, 35th, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Bobby Labonte in the 36th position. Mark Martin will be 37th, Casey Atwood 38th, Jason Leffler in the 00 from 39th, and 40th, Elliott Sadler into 83. And rounding out the field, it'll be 41st place Stanton Barrett and Martin Truex Jr. into 8. Rounds out this 42-car field as we take you to the track for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
42 stock cars roar to life as Kevin Harvick and Brian Vickers will lead the field to the green flag here today. 85 laps, and the field rolls off onto their opening pace lap. Going to be a fun one as always. Vegas, always an entertaining race, and a lot of overtaking expected on this racetrack. A lot of hard-fought battles. We'll see a lot of movement throughout the field in this race on the flat banks of this mile and a half.
Yeah, and while this is a cookie cutter racetrack by definition. It really is not very similar to the rest of the ones on the schedule. It's flat. You really have to be patient with the throttle to get off the corners well, and you really have to take care of your tires as this track continues to age. So we'll see what this entails for the drivers, but definitely a unique stop on the schedule.
And a lot of underdogs have qualified really high up front today. Juan Hornaday Jr. qualifying in P4. We'll see whether or not he's actually going to be able to hold that starting spot as the race goes on, but he might be a dark horse pick going forward.
Yeah, a lot of guys starting up front that you might not expect in this one, and a lot of contenders down the order as well. But of course, as we mentioned, shiftings throughout the field. Pace car going to peel off to the left. Kevin Harvick and Brian Vickers on the front row. 85 laps here from Vegas, and we are green. Hard-fought battle for the lead comes up 20 off of turn number 4. Vickers had the nose ahead, leaving the first set of corners as they went off of turn 2 that time, but couldn't hold off Kevin Harvick for the lead. The 20 car takes away first as they finish the first lap. Top 3 break away. Hornaday blocking everybody. They are 3 wide behind him. 4th place on back. A tight battle in this pack. A lot of race cars bunched together as they race towards turn 3 this time.
And it's worth mentioning at a track like this, it's not uncommon to see later on in runs the groups start to move up the racetrack a little bit. While it might be bottom feeder right now up front, we very well could see that groove start to shift as this race goes forward and the temperatures change and your tires start to age. It's just a very dynamic racetrack.
Absolutely. We saw it in the Busch race on Saturday, in which the race leaders kind of tended to prevail on the outside in the battles later on in the runs on older tires. It's usually that top side you use for defense. They like to stay it on the bottom longer in the run, even with the upper groove being a little quicker, but usually it's a defensive line, so passing gets more difficult as you run, despite we talk about this racetrack usually being real pass happy. So it's just a matter of trying to get those positions early. You want to move up front as much as you can early in the running. Seeing a couple of guys doing so, McMurray and Wimmer, who have filtered into this top 5. 78 car started to slip backwards as he's stuck up on the outside. Casey Kane trying to move forwards as well. Bottom of 3 wide for just a moment. Kyle Busch in that mix as they race for position in the back end of the top 10 here.
They're nearly 3 wide. They are 3 wide down the front straightaway. Jack Sprague in the middle of 3.
Everybody keeping it together as a 78, falling backwards from his lofty qualifying position. Jeff Gordon in the 24 on the bottom there, fighting with his teammate Sprague in the 55, who is also in this battle with Kane in that 38 car for the 8th position. Kevin Harvick, the 20 car, pulling away for the race lead.
He certainly is, and it's been a good start to the season for Kevin Harvick. A little quiet, but not a bad start to the year. A win, however, today, that would very much help his potential title bid. He is 4th in points at the moment,